I was in an elementary school in North Boston yesterday morning, and I was presenting this lovely instrument in front of a classroom of junior kindergartners, around 4 or 5 years old, and some of them were like, oh, I know what that is. Others hadn't even learned the letter V yet. So I decided to change the question around, and I asked the class, well, what do you notice about this instrument? One girl raised her hand, and she said, well, I see a stick with some hair, 4 strings, and a lot of wood. And I said, wow, that's not exactly profound, maybe not the same 4-year-old that Dan was talking to before. But it got me thinking about how simple the materials are and how they're assembled, and how we're able to produce infinite possibilities within this instrument, something from profound sadness to anger. To bluegrass music. I've been told by my bluegrass fans that you don't end a song because it's a bit cliche, so just don't try it at home. But the violin is a 16th century piece of technology that was used to extend the range of the human voice. And I also think that it serves to extend the range of the human soul. The violin was something that I started when I was around 10 years old. I should go back a little bit. I was born without a right hand. The umbilical cord wrapped around it, and it kept it from growing. And it kept me from learning to tie my shoelaces very early on in life, riding a bicycle, sharpening pencils in school. In grade 5, my music teacher wanted us all to play the recorder. And first of all, I found the recorder sort of a boring instrument. And it was very difficult to adapt for only one hand. So we went through a lot of discussions with my parents, and we said, well, maybe we can try the trumpet. That only requires one hand, and it was too loud for them. Drums, it was the same. I had a voice that only a mother could love, and she didn't even love it that much. So we decided to choose the violin, which they thought was a beautiful sounding instrument. They had heard some wonderful violinists in their past. All I needed was a cast made from plaster, piece of aluminum, and the goal was just to move my hand back and forth like this, and I would make beautiful music. Little did my parents know that they invited a dying cat into their house for the first 6 months in the form of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. It's like, not the best thing in the world. A couple years later, it became, and then today it's our. And what goes on behind quality sound on this instrument were people who were of quality themselves. I had great teachers who were tough on me, but also believed that I could reach my full potential. Quality friends who kept me from being bullied, both in elementary school and high school. The greatest challenge of having a disability is not one of character, but being able to find the tools to be able to express that character. My work at Harvard involves the use of adaptive musical instruments, technology that can be used to not only create access, but meaningful participation for all children to learn through the arts. And I thought it was interesting, we're talking a lot about technology. Technology is a tool to serve as great access for us, but I also feel there's an implicit fear that technology will, in fact, dehumanize us, make us shadows of who we really are. My question is, what if we use technology through art, disability, and education to be able to reveal the inner humanity of kids with cerebral palsy, children with Down syndrome. Accessibility is not an act of charity. It's one of lifting the ceiling of potential development so that all children can explore this world, but also possibly create new ones. So I'm going to play a little piece of music by Tchaikovsky, and thank you very much. Thank you.